Pupco Studios in Oklahoma City. This is an OSU update. I'm Jenny Carlson. A September 2013 Sports Illustrated investigation into Oklahoma State football turned up myriad issues with the Cowboys, but now more than a year later, an outside investigation into those alleged misdoings has determined that report was fundamentally unfounded. And Barry Trammell joins us on the phone right now. Barry, you were with Oklahoma State officials today as they laid out the findings of that investigation and a joint statement released by Oklahoma State and the NCAA into these. What did you learn about the investigation and what that investigation turned up?
Well, what we learned is that the meat of the allegations was came to nothing, and they found virtually no evidence to substantiate the allegations, whether it was rampant drug culture, whether it was payment to players, whether it was academic misconduct. The one thing they do have is there are going to be three notice of allegations. Three allegations was found by this independent group, this consultant, all of a minor variety. One is a failure to adhere to your own drug policy. 5 instances over, I think it's 94 failed drug tests, 94 positives, failing to follow that drug policy. Another was just the structure and administration of the Orange Pride support program is supposed to go through the Office of Admissions, not the athletic department, if the Orange Pride members are in contact with recruits. So that was a structural problem. And then a failure to monitor, which goes back to the first two allegations. So fairly minor allegations are going to be forwarded to the NCAA. Oklahoma State is expected to barter that these are not level 2, but actually level 3 or even level 4 allegations. So in the grand scheme of things, fairly minor allegations found. In the grand scope of the entire investigation, Oklahoma State comes out looking very good.
Well, as Oklahoma State fans will remember, that SI investigation had all sorts of allegations of illegal payments and funds going to players, but this outside consultant doing this year-long investigation, over 100 people that they talked to, 50,000 emails, Barry, that they poured over. So as you say, in the grand scope of things, not nearly the level that the investigation that Sports Illustrated supposedly did would lead you to believe. Are these violations, though, which have been deemed at this point to be level 2, what could they mean for Oklahoma State, Barry? Is this a situation where they may have some penalties coming their way?
Well, any violation could end up with any of these could end up with a penalty, but they're fairly minor in scope. Some of the established history is a loss of a scholarship, maybe a limitation on visits per year by a recruit. Just things that you don't want to go through, things you don't want to endure, but fairly minor. Nothing of a major penalty.
I guess lastly, the question will be asked, what does this all mean in terms of obviously Oklahoma State taking a pretty big public relations hit when that Sports Illustrated piece starts to come out a year ago. Now this, finding that what was written was largely not true. They found no evidence of this. Is this open the door to lawsuits? Is this clear OSU? What's sort of the lasting impact of all this, Barry?
Well, I think the lasting impact is Oklahoma State's name was drawn through the mud, and they're upset about that. They're angry about that, but they're also relieved that nothing was found. Both Mike Gundy in a release and Burns Hargis in person with me today expressed relief that they found that they looked into it. Burns Hargis said, when I heard about this, I wanted to get to the bottom of it. I wanted to find out if there really was something going on with our program, and he said, I'm very pleased to find that there is not. I think there could be some individual, there's at least one lawsuit that's already been filed against Sports Illustrated. This certainly adds teeth to that lawsuit. So, we'll see if anything further transpires. But for the most part, the coaches that were involved in the report, in the Sports Illustrated report, Joe DeForest, now at West Virginia, prominent among them, basically exonerated. So I think they're going to look at this as just a bad time in Oklahoma State history in terms of public relations, but they've come out on the other side of it in fine shape.
We'll have a lot more on this story on newsok.com as the day goes on, and in the Oklahoman tomorrow. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.